Still rocking after all these years.
This is the story of my rock and roll butler.
This is it, the show that started it all. Often imitated, but never equal. From San Francisco, USA. Online since 2004. It's the one and only Rock and Roll Geek Show. With the original Rock and Roll Geek, Michael Butler.
Welcome to the Rock and Roll Geek Show. My name is Michael Butler. Thanks a lot for joining me. I really appreciate it. Today is Saturday, November 9th, 2024, and it is 2:10 p.m. when I'm recording this show open. I just got off the phone with my friend Sam, who's the singer and bass player for a band called the Midnight Devils. They were out with us when I was out with Manitoba in Texas, and he's kind of become a little bit of a friend. We text all the time, like Eddie Trunk. Instead of texting with John 5, I text with people like Sam Spade from the Midnight Devils. I'd rather text with Sam Spade than John 5. Anyway, they have a new album out called So Hard It Hurts. If you remember, I interviewed Rick Browdy, and we talked about the album because Rick Browdy produced it. Rick Browdy, legendary record producer, and my friends Cher and Bam from... Cher was in Vixen and Bam was in The Dogs D'Amour. They helped produce it as well. They have a studio. So anyway, Sam came on the show today. We talked some about the album. Mostly we talked about strip clubs and touring. So you probably like this one. I think it's a good talk. So that's what I did today. Not really an interview. We just kind of shot the shit, but it was good. We talked for about an hour, and Sam's a really cool dude. So is the rest of his band too. They're a great band, and they are the epitome of hard work, of a hardworking rock band, and the kind of the blueprint for do it yourself. All bands should follow the Midnight Devils lead. These guys work their fucking asses off, and they deserve a lot more success than they've had so far. But I got a feeling that they're gonna find success because that hard work, with that much hard work, I firmly believe if you work that hard, there's no way you're not gonna succeed. These guys work their fucking asses off, as Phil Hendry says. So that's what I did today. We had a nice talk. We talked for about an hour, and hope you like it. And I asked him at the end of the show what songs I should play, and he gave me a couple songs from the new album, and I'm going to close out with one, and this is what I'm going to open with. This song, this is going to be their next single, he said. This song is called Shock the World from the Midnight Devils, and after this song, we'll go right into me and Sam shooting the shit. I'll talk to you in a few minutes, friends.
Driving as straight as I can, round every corner on every street. The chills they always go through, in the darkness without curfew. They're all promising,
Hey, Sam, thanks for coming on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. I appreciate it, friend. Nice to hear from you again.
What's going on, Michael? It is great to be back. I don't think we've talked since we haven't seen each other since Texas. We did the Handsome Dick tour together.
Yep. Where are you living? Where are you at right now?
Out of Nebraska right now, Lincoln, Nebraska.
Lincoln, Nebraska. Where do the other guys live?
So Jimmy is in New Orleans, the drummer, and Sniper, the guitar player, is in Oklahoma City.
Okay. How did you guys? So they're not the original. Sniper's an original guy, right? And you're an original guy, but Jimmy's not.
Correct. Yeah. Right before we even like our first tour out back in 2016-17, we had a different drummer, and we did one like mini tour with him, and he kind of crumbled right in the middle of the tour, and we had to go back to Omaha in the middle of the tour. We were in Kansas City. We left, drove back, and we had to find somebody to fill in the rest of the tour. We were going down to Rocklahoma. Jimmy stepped up and really filled in for that spot and took over and kind of became the, like the heart and soul of the band.
Oh, really? How'd the other guy crumble? What happened?
He was on drugs, really. It's really that simple. So we had a guy that we played with, and so we did we go, we're going to do this tour down to Rocklahoma. It's going to be one of the biggest tours coming out, the Midnight Devils. And we did 3 or 4 shows, and it's almost like he ran out of drugs on the road.
Huh? What kind of drugs?
I'm pretty sure it was meth.
Okay, that's a good one.
So the story goes is that we were we did 2 or 3 shows. We made it to Kansas City. We played the show in Kansas City right downtown, and right when we got off the stage, we were all at the merch table, and his girlfriend was waiting for him in a car. He walked off the stage into his girlfriend's car and took off, and I've never seen him since.
Huh? How about that? When you guys are traveling, do you share a hotel room, or you sleep in the van?
Oh, yeah, we all share a hotel room, so it's 3 guys in one hotel room, which generally in the USA is pretty easy. Jimmy and I share a bed every time, and it's like,
oh, really?
One mess section. In the UK and overseas in Europe, it gets a little difficult because the hotel rooms are so small, and so you just kind of have to deal with the cards, I guess.
Yeah.
The cards.
Yeah. Now, I would figure if you're sharing a room with this guy and he's on meth, he would stay up all night. Were you guys on meth too?
No, we weren't. We were not. At that point, we had been sober. So Sniper and I got sober way prior to the band even forming. So we were kind of over getting messed up and doing stuff like that. He was the same age as us and hadn't seen the light yet, I guess you could say. He just couldn't keep it together, and being on tour is not the place to kind of deal with those issues.
Would he stay up all night?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So would he leave the hotel room and walk around, or would he
yeah, he'd be in the bathroom. That's like the go-to, up in the bathroom by yourself just for hours and hours and hours.
Picking at your scabs.
Yep. Wearing holes in the carpet.
Nice.
Yeah, I found, and get this, Michael, it's like, so we got home from the tour and we had to fire him, of course, and give him all his stuff back. And we were looking through my van, and he had left like a glass meth pipe under the seat of. I've been driving for like a week before I even found it.
Didn't leave any meth, of course. No.
No surprise. No presents. No to-go presents.
Not even any things that resemble. You know how when the speed freaks, they'll start going on through the carpet looking for anything white.
They're just looking for rocks. The pool rocks. That's what they're doing.
Yeah, not even any white specks in the van.
Not one white speck in the entire van.
And you found a new guy. What's his name?
Jimmy Mess.
Jimmy Mess. Yeah, that guy is a strange-looking dude, man.
He is. We call him the rock and roll space alien. He is absolutely sent from another planet.
Does I know when we were on tour with you guys, I saw some girls. I'm not saying that you guys were picking up girls, but he might have been. I saw some girls interested in him.
Oh yeah, he's a very outgoing dude and knows how to talk to chicks and kind of being the space alien that he is, he attracts a certain type of chick, if you will.
I mean, these girls didn't look too bad. They didn't look too bad. That guy is I don't want to say ugly, but he's a fucking weird looking dude, man. And I wonder if these girls, if they ever go home with him and wake up and just go, whoa, holy shit.
Absolutely. That's what he's shooting for.
Really?
He's shooting for the easiest out the fire escape with the bed sheet.
Does he have a girlfriend?
Not currently, but he has in the past. So I mean, he's just kind of an alien, and that's really what he does. Like he's a Army war veteran as well.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he kind of came back and he's done what he wanted to do, and just kind of travel around and be in a rock band. That's exactly what he wanted to do when he got out of the Army, and that's all he does.
Did he serve just one term in the Army?
Yeah.
Where'd he go? Did he go to?
I think he was in Afghanistan. He was a machine gunner.
Huh? How old is he?
He was airborne too. He's 39. He's almost 40 now.
And Sniper was he in the Army too?
Yeah, he did 2 tours overseas. He was a Army Ranger as well, airborne. So he's jumping out of air. Obviously, Sniper.
Yeah. So they all shoot guns, right?
Yep, correct.
You carry guns. So carry guns on the road? Of course you do.
How many guns on the road?
Exactly. That's why I asked Ted Nugent that. I said, "Are you carrying a gun right now?" He goes, he goes, "Why would I carry a gun?"
Right. The sniper always goes, "What if one fails?"
Yeah,
I go,
exactly.
I understand what you're saying.
You guys ever get pulled over and the cops say, "What are those guns? What you doing with those guns?" Well, if he said, "Huh?"
I got about 100 being pulled over stories. One was in Indiana. We had a rental car, and the cops pulled us over, like right on the interstate. They saw us coming out of a gas station, pull us over, and there was weed in the car. And I thought, this is it. They brought in the dogs. The next thing you know, like they pulled us out of the van. We got 2 cops on us. They got the zip ties out, right? And we're headed to a show. We didn't even make it to the show. And the cops are ready to lock us up. And I'm like, this the end of our career right here. I can see it happening already.
Were you guys all wearing your stage outfits? Because I see you guys wearing your stage clothes at the airport.
Yeah, we were wearing exactly that. And it wasn't even stage. It was just that's how we look.
Yeah.
And they saw us and they're like, we're going to bust these guys for sure. We're standing there on the side of the road in Indiana, 2 cop cars. The police dog is inside of the van, and I'm like, this is it. Like, we're going down. And Sniper turns to one of the officers, and he sees his tattoo, and it's a U.S. Marine Corps tattoo. Oh. And he goes, "Oh, you're a U.S. Marine. Jimmy and I are over here. We're, Army veterans as well." And they wrapped up the search in, like, seconds and got us on.
Oh,
we went from going to jail, for sure, zip tied to the ground, to you guys get out of Indiana, please, fast.
Oh, that's good. So you didn't serve any. So how old is Sniper? He looks a little bit older than you guys.
He's older. I want to say 50, 55 maybe. Probably not that old.
Okay. He's younger than me, and he's younger than Manitoba. He's younger than all the guys in Manitoba's been.
And he's the guy that sees us doing all this stupid shit on the road, and he goes, yeah, I've already done all that. I'm just going to hang in the hotel room. Like, you guys are idiots. Yeah. I'm going to hang back.
He just got married, didn't he?
Yeah, just in October down in Oklahoma. It was beautiful. We went down there. It was really cool. Cool wedding.
Drummer come too?
No, he did not show up.
Oh, too bad. He could have got some bridesmaids.
And the wedding was so normal. It was so weird to kind of see that side of everybody that I don't know that if Jimmy would have been there, it might have been too normal for him to be around.
Do you guys have day jobs? I heard you owned a strip club. Is that true?
I don't own a strip club. I actually work at one. But I've been working there. And my soon-to-be wife is the manager. I'm the DJ, but I've been working as a strip club DJ for 4 years now.
In Omaha, Nebraska?
Yeah, in Omaha and Lincoln.
What's the name of the strip club?
So it's called the Office Gentlemen's Club, and it's this big, huge bar, 2 stages. And when I started, it was kind of the Wild West, and anything goes, if you can imagine what I'm talking about at a strip club. Like, it was wild. And now Cheri's kind of come in and turned the place into more of a money-making business. And we really get to focus on putting on just a killer show every night as best we can for the strippers that are there. And the customers. Like, I was there last night, place was just completely packed full of people. Awesome. You get the same rush.
Do the girls pay a stage fee? Because in San Francisco, they used to have because Casey, a guy playing a different band with, he used to run the Mitchell Brothers O'Farrell Theater in San Francisco, and girls had to pay a stage fee. Do girls have to do that in Omaha?
So every night that they walk in, there's a certain amount of money they have to pay. So it's kind of fluctuating depending on the day. So like last night, they would have to pay $50 just to kind of walk in the door and do their jobs. And so that part of that money goes to me and to the bouncer and everybody like that to make sure everybody's safe.
And do they get to keep all the rest of their tips?
Yep, everything else they keep. So I mean, $50 is nothing when you're talking like a lap dance is 30.
Yeah.
That's like 1.5 lap dances, 1.5 songs. It's really like we're really easy on the girls, and kind of my whole goal is to kind of bring this rock and roll show or this attitude, this vibe to this strip club, and you know the show must go on no matter what. We don't get to take days off. We just run it and go off that crowd because the customers are there.
Are you the guy you talk over the PA like this is Cindy from?
Sure. Yep.
You talk to girls when they're coming up on stage.
Coming to the main stage now, ladies and gentlemen, get ready. Yeah.
Do you wear your normal clothes? I mean, the clothes I see you wearing like when you're on tour.
Yes, absolutely. So it's like and a lot of people know now, you know, in Nebraska and Lincoln that Cheri and I are there, and it's kind of a welcome. We've turned it into a welcome place for guys in bands or artists coming through town. Something that's really cool, a place where the people, that kind of the freaks, can come and hang out and be welcome. So I got posters all over the wall, tour posters and Kiss stuff and Alice Cooper inside of a strip club, which is, you know, unheard of.
Right, yeah. Do you let the girls pick their own dance songs?
For the most part, they have a list of songs that they want to dance to. So I kind of know what genre of music, what style, and I curtail it to the time of the week, the day, and the customers that I can see in the audience. So if I know that the customers are going to like a certain song, I will play that song for the girls. So it's kind of a give and take. I work with the girls just personally on that level. Because
some of the girls only want like hip hop or beyond or whatever. You let them do that, or you make them dance to rock and roll as well?
No, so what I do is I know that they're the ones paying the bills at the end of the night. So you got to make the girls happy. There are diamonds, you know, every 365 days a year, guys are coming in. So I know that I got to make the girls happy. I'll kind of play what they want, but maybe not the song that they want, but the style. So it all has to be kind of upbeat, you know, party music on a Friday night. And so I'll play 2 songs for the girl, and then in between that, like while a girl's walking up or down, I can play whatever I want. So then I have to kind of play that rock and roll music, and the music that I know is just going to set a crowd off.
Yeah, what's the kind of music that sets the crowd off? Girls, and
girls does great. Weird country music does great.
What kind of country music?
90s country is a big deal. And that's like just people just love to drink and party with that when that music comes on. So it's kind of all about controlling the attitude and the kind of the environment so that people are drinking and smiling, and it's not too heavy. Hip hop oriented, where the gang members come in and kind of take the over, or we don't lean too far one way, especially on Friday and Saturday.
You got big bouncers and stuff too.
Oh yeah, we got some bad dudes that come in and anything that needs to be handled. And the thing is, I help bounce too, but nobody wants to get thrown out by a guy wearing like a half shirt and mascara. Right. So I just walk up to him like, come on, do we really got to be doing this? And nobody really with us. Is
that place total nude or just topless or bikini?
In Nebraska, it's pasties only.
Pasties.
The nipple must be covered.
Okay. And the bottoms, they got to wear G-strings.
Got to wear the bottoms. Yep.
Do girls ever do extras and stuff? You're not going to tell me if they do, but just blink twice if they do.
Not inside of the club is it allowed, and kind of once they leave the club, they're out of my jurisdiction.
There's no there's no like private VIP rooms where like one-on-one private.
It's like $500 for an hour, and you get you get to hang out with the girl for an hour, and that's like the biggest scam in the whole entire strip club, is that basically you just get to go to a different room and hang out with the girl for another hour. You don't get to do anything extra, but they'll sell it like, oh, you get this private time with me, and the bouncers won't come. That's not the way.
I'm sorry to keep talking about this, but that guys ever go in the VIP rooms and whip it out and take care of themselves?
Absolutely,
they do. That's allowed.
It's not allowed. No, as soon as the rig comes out, you're automatically getting kicked out. And that's the other. When you got the rig out, the last you want to see is me walking through the door.
Yeah, exactly. Especially if you got a boner, they might like you more.
So it's easier than you think to kick a guy out of the bar for whipping his rig out because
he's got his dick out already.
Right.
I don't know why I'm fascinated by the strip clubs.
No, I've done it for 4 years, and every day I think I I've seen everything. There's nothing more that I can see, and I'm completely surprised week in and week out by just the stupid stuff and the stuff that we have to deal with. You could almost write a book just on the stories from the strip club.
Yeah. What's your girlfriend do there?
She's the manager. So she took over 2 years ago, and she was a dancer.
Oh, she was.
And then
Okay.
It moved up to a bartender, and then took over as manager. So she danced for 13 years, and really has the respect of the girls because she's been through all the battles and the wars as a stripper. The girls really respect her more as a female boss. She can kind of go and be a hard ass, but also be sympathetic because she's done everything that they've been through.
Who owns the club?
It's about, there's 4 or 5 owners here in Lincoln. One is a bartender, and then there's just a couple other business guys that we've kind of got to know and have got turned into family and really created this cool bar. When I started, they weren't very involved, and now that Cheri's the manager, they've kind of all come together and really pushed to make this into something really cool. They see the money, the money's there, and all it is really working the shows and working the program every single day.
Do they all have Italian last names?
No, but there's a guy for everything. I'll tell you that.
What do you mean?
There's
a guy?
Cost of doing business, and
oh, okay, yeah. Oh, that's cool. So, what do the other 2 guys do for a living?
Nothing. They are retired from the Army, so they kind of they're just enjoying life right now. I feel like they've already done the hard work.
If so, the drummer he only served 1 term of duty. He's not getting a pension.
Yeah, he is. He's 100% disabled from the government.
He gets disability.
Yeah, because he got blown up over, and he was driving a Bradley over in, I think, Afghanistan, and they hit a IED, I believe, and went off the road and got really bad, like hurt his arm. He didn't think he was going to be able to drum ever again.
He's a pretty good drummer, isn't he?
Yeah, he's really solid. He's probably one of the best drummers I've ever been with. Like, as far as a guy that I never have to look back and see what he's doing. Is
he clean and sober?
For the most part, yeah. We're all kind of California sober, if that's we love to smoke tons of weed. Because
when we played that last show with you guys in Texas, I had a friend who showed up. I used to play in a band with. He was kind of an annoying dude, and all he was talking about was going to get coke for the guys in the Midnight Devils. I hope I didn't.
Yeah, the rock and roll space alien was known to dabble.
Okay, all right, that's all right. Hey, man, you do what you got to do. I don't judge.
And he, if anybody could get away with it, it's definitely him.
So Sniper doesn't. Sniper's name is Chris, right?
Heinlein, yep.
Chris Heinlein, yeah. He doesn't do anything. He doesn't work.
No, he did work. He worked for the post office. Like, he got out of the Army and worked for the post office for a long time. And him and I played in like 80s hair metal tribute band in Omaha. Was like the precursor to the Midnight Devils. We were in like we worked a lot as just this cover band, and it kind of really, really tight. He worked at the post office for a long time. I was finally able, like when the Midnight Devils started touring, he was finally able to retire from the post office. And
so does he get a pension?
Yeah, for sure.
Cool. That's good. That's nice. So he can tour whenever he wants, and his wife lets him go. His wife has no problem with him going out on tour.
No, not at all. And I think it's very welcomed. And they kind of see what we're doing, and we're making some waves and creating something really cool that not a lot of people get to do. So they've been, like, all of our significant others have been very supportive, even though this is completely insane at all times.
Yeah. When we played with you guys, I don't know if this is what you guys always do, but you guys pretty much played for free and let us use your gear, and you just hopped on the bill and just sold merch, right? Is that the way it works all the time when you guys play?
Not all the time, and we're really trying to get away from that. But you got to pay your dues, and that's really what the name of this game is paying your dues and really making yourself a better band. And I think the Midnight Devils have gone through a lot of those growing pains right now. But with that tour especially, we kind of got the offer from Alex, and we thought we had just been listening like to the Dictators like crazy. So we got the offer, and we're like, if the tour doesn't succeed, this is going to be like the coolest thing ever. And that we were going in just knowing that we were going to have a blast. It was kind of like a personal tour for us. We did the Dead Boys kind of the same way.
Oh, really? Okay. But the Dead Boys, was that before the Manitoba stuff?
Yeah. Yep. That went through like New Orleans. We did about 4 or 5 shows with the Dead Boys, and it worked really well. Like we matched really well. I was nervous how the Midnight Devils would work with like a really, really punk rock oriented audience. And it worked great because we grew up as punk rockers.
Yeah. And the people that go to these shows are kind of older, you know, if they're Manitoba fans, they're kind of old punk rock dudes, and probably the same with the Dead Boys. I would imagine the Dead Boys had a little bit bigger crowds than Manitoba.
Yeah, they did really great. I mean, one of the show, no, they did. I think every show there was probably 100 people or so. But Peter Chrome's another living legend, just like Manitoba, and people just come out to see him, and it was really, really cool to meet him. And like that first night of the tour, just hang out, and you're like, wow, that's Cheetah Chrome. Like that guy is the dude. Saying that, everybody that was in their tour was like, please don't, whatever you do, don't give him any drugs.
Oh,
really? We're like, whoa, it's that serious. Like first night of the tour, don't give him any drugs.
So he has trouble staying sober.
Correct. Like even at his age, you know, it was still a problem, and they were still trying to control it, or as best they could.
See, with Manitoba, it's whatever you do, don't bring up politics, because he'll go off on his fucking.
I did hear you guys talking about that. I always remember that, like the way you like. He would start talking about it on stage, and you're like, please go to the next song. Yeah.
We try to get him to stop telling, and please keep the story short, Manitoba. And man, when we did this UK thing this last time, man, we played the Rebellion Festival, and we said, all right, we're playing a festival here, Richard. We just got to pound, rock, announce the next song, keep your story less than 10 seconds. That lasted about 3 songs.
3 songs, and then he was like,
he started talking stories.
But part of it is, the cool thing is, like, you kind of, as an audience member, I look forward to those stories, but I completely understand what you're saying. Like, you got so many songs you got to get through. People came for the rock, but part of it, man, they love those stories too.
Yeah, I know they do. Some people in the band really got pissed off when he would tell the stories, and
really,
they were giving us we had a strict time limit. That's when it's hard. Is when you got a strict time limit, you don't have time. You want to get all the songs in. Like 2 of the shows on that tour, we had a time limit because one of the clubs turned into a dance club at 11 p.m. And the Rebellion Festival, you know, is they had a million bands. So the last song we wanted to play. You know, we were running out of time, and he wanted to play something else, and we got to play the fucking hit.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we start playing, and he gets pissed off, throws the fucking mic down, walks off stage.
At Rebellion Fest?
Yeah. So I start singing lead. He looks back and sees me singing lead, grabs the microphone out of my hand, and finishes the song. So people thought it was part of the act.
In front of 1,000 people.
It was probably 5,000 people.
Yeah. Oh, it's huge. I can't believe that. And how'd you decide to do it?
Well, he left, but we were already playing the song, and then he walks off in the middle, and he threw his mic down, and it was his microphone too, that his personalized microphone that has HDM on it. Unplugs his microphone, throws it down on the ground, walks off stage. We got to keep playing. So I start singing, and I said, come on, let's bring him back. Or so I said something. So he comes back on, the crowd's going crazy, and
it's almost like a James Brown type of situation.
Yes, exactly. And after the show, everybody in the band, except for me, was like, oh my God, what the fuck happened? Are we still a band? And Manitoba was back to the dressing room. Man, that was fucking great.
That's rock and roll, absolutely.
I saw the Who when they did that. That's all we talked about. I'm trying to hold Alex back. And Alex is embarrassed, and that was rock and roll, man. It's punk rock. What are you gonna do? Then the same thing happened in London.
Where'd you guys play at in London?
At the Underground. We had a time.
Oh yeah.
It turns into a dance club. And we had photographers there, and people filmed this one, and he refused to come back, and I started singing. Well, he was calling for. I'll get back to Midnight Devils. Don't worry, Stan.
What's the last song? Is it Kick Out the Jams?
Yeah. Well, we were So we still had 3 songs to go. We said we're out of time. They're giving us the hook here, and he goes, all right. So and we hadn't played "Stay with Me" yet, which what everybody wanted to hear.
Yeah.
So Manitoba says it's time to kick out the jams, motherfuckers. Alex goes into "Stay with Me." Manitoba gets pissed, and I thought there was going to be blows on stage. So I start singing "Stay with Me." Manitoba unplugs my microphone and says, "Stop, motherfucker! Oh, you stop!" And we stopped. It was a fucking train wreck. The show was fantastic, and everybody talked about it. That's all they talked about was this real? Was this part of the act?
That unpredictability is what makes it
That's
great.
danger. That's rock and roll to me. Exactly.
Absolutely. No tracks. They're not playing tracks. You can tell immediately.
So, Manitoba, you got to hand it to him. He does what he fucking wants to do, man.
Yeah, I'll tell you, like, being on that tour, still to this day, one of the funner tours that I've ever been on. Even though we had our troubles or whatever, like, we had a blast and we still talk about it. Like, remember when we opened up for Manitoba? It was so cool, so cool.
Well, it's nice of you to say. I'm sure you don't really mean it. It was nice of you to say that. I appreciate it.
Like, we don't get to do it. Like, that was a pleasure tour, a fun tour for us.
So when you guys went to Australia, where did you go after that? So you went to you went overseas. Where did you go first overseas?
We did Australia, and then we did Japan right after.
All right, so Australia. Did you guys hop on? Did you guys do something similar in Australia, like hopping on a tour and?
Correct. Yeah, and on the Australia tour, it's good and bad. I don't know how you want to take it. We opened up for an AC/DC tribute band in Australia for Bob's birthday.
How did you find that band? How did you jump on that tour? How does that work? Do you go? How does it? Yeah, walk me through that process. How you get on one of that tour?
So it kind of started a year prior. On our debut in Australia, we got, once again, and this kind of brings it all around, the whole story around. Alex Kane goes, "Hey, I'm playing with Donnie V in Australia. We want the Midnight Devils to open up." And I said, "Perfect, we're there." And then he goes, "Okay, the band's dropping out. I need you guys to learn these songs. The Midnight Devils are going to back Donnie V and play all these songs." And we've been on tour with Enough's Enough, so that wasn't a problem. I was actually really excited. I learned all the songs on the bass, and it was very cool. At the last second, Donnie V dropped off the tour.
Yeah, boom. That was right before he joined. That was right before Alex joined.
Yeah,
Manitoba.
So the label that we ended up signing with says, "It's okay, you guys come over and you'll just do a headlining tour by yourselves." And it was really successful.
And you got paid. You got paid for that.
Yeah.
Okay.
On that headline tour, we did, last show was at this place called the Corner Hotel in, I think it's in Melbourne. And our tour manager got us an opening spot for this AC/DC band. We walk in, it's an afternoon show. It's a Sunday afternoon at 1 p.m. And the place is packed. There's 500 people going crazy.
Now, this was the most recent time you went to Australia.
No, that was the one before.
Okay.
And that so well that they parlayed it and they go, "Okay, we're going to do a tour next year. Do you guys want the opening spot?" And we would have been crazy not to take it. They're putting 500 people in a venue every single night that want to come and listen to AC/DC. So it's perfectly our crowd, like rockers. The only hurdle we had to overcome is that we're a glam band and this is AC/DC. So it's like the working man's rock band,
Well, I doubt that really matters. Did you get paid for that?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, you did. And you guys have a manager?
No, we do it all ourselves. I do it all.
Okay, because I thought you said your tour manager booked this.
Well, we'll enlist like a tour manager in every, like if we go out of the country, we'll have a tour manager and a guide that will kind of help get through. So this same Australia had been to Japan prior and knew how to get through Japan, we would have been screwed.
So when you went to Australia this last time, the show was paid. You got paid.
Yeah.
You guys had to pay for your own plane tickets?
Yep, correct. Play for lodging, but we knew going in that they weren't going to sell any merch. So I had a leg up and I could sell almost as much merch as I needed to every night.
Oh, the AC/DC band doesn't bring their own merch.
Right. Because it's a tribute band.
Yeah, I'm in an AC/DC cover band. We sell merch.
Yeah, and I brought over the green devil horns, and those sold so fast.
Oh yeah, that's right, because Angus.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
Yep.
And when you went to Japan, how how did that? Was that the same way? Did you get paid for those, or did you hop on somebody's bill?
Those were a little different. So we went through a different promoter. We flew basically from Australia. We had a show in the afternoon, got on a plane, flew to Singapore, flew to Japan, and had a show later that night in Japan, our first show there. And the way that they do it over there, I'm not sure if you're familiar, but you play the club, and people that come in to see you let the door guy know. And then that's how you get paid at the end of the night.
Okay. I played in Japan a few times, but that wasn't like that for us. We just got paid a certain amount.
Yeah, so we didn't get paid much, but it is a big deal to get paid, if you know what I mean. Like, they're like, okay, here's your cut is $100. Bands normally don't make anything, so take what it will. Like,
oh, okay, they were surprised that you would get paid. So were those bills with a shitload of bands on them? Yes,
they were. So and there were little tiny clubs with 5 or 6 bands on it, and every band would play 30 minutes on the dot, and then they switch out. But everybody stayed from the beginning to the end. Nobody ever left.
And who booked you guys for that?
It was a management company called Inter-Udu Management.
Yeah, I think American Heartbreak, my old band American Heartbreak, might have worked with those guys. So they contacted you, or did you reach out to them?
Our tour manager from Australia contacted them. He knew the management company because he'd been there prior, and he goes, since you guys are going to be in Australia, it makes more sense to fly from Australia to Japan. It's a shorter flight. Let's just do it and tack it on to the end of the Australia tour.
So you guys had to buy your plane tickets to Japan too?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Yeah. You guys fly coach, I'm assuming?
Like underneath the plane.
Right. You bring all that gear. You didn't bring any. You use the open. They had a back line. Obviously, you don't bring your amps and stuff. Did you bring like Kemper? Like, some people bring Kempers and Quad Cortex and stuff like that. Did you bring that stuff, or just your guitars?
In Japan, every venue has just killer gear.
Yeah.
Like the back line in every venue is just killer. So I didn't bring anything. I just brought a guitar and our merch and our backdrop. And Sniper, I think, has like a blue amp pedal, which has tubes, like 100-watt tube pedal that you can plug straight into a Marshall cabinet.
Right. And drummers, they do you have to bring snare and cymbals or anything?
No,
Nothing.
Nothing.
Not just sticks, probably.
Just sticks, barely even that.
That was the first time being in Japan?
Yeah, first time. We did 8 shows over 10 days. And I don't know what it was like when you were there, but you don't like drive to the venues. For us, we kind of stayed in Airbnbs, and you'd get on and you'd train to every venue.
Yeah, well, while I played in Exodus, we did bullet train. It was first class. But when I went as an American Heartbreak, they just drove us around in vans. We only played I think we did 2 or 3 shows, and it was mostly all in Tokyo. So they just would come pick us up in a van. So,
did you Babel?
What's that?
Babel, the club called Babel.
I don't remember. Yeah. I don't remember where we played. I just loved Japan though. It was so much fun.
Yeah. It was complete culture shock overload. Like, you kind of feel like you're in a different planet, and it is so beautiful and so clean. And there's you never feel like there's any chance of danger happening.
Good food.
Yeah, great food every night, and it'd be open. The little ramen shops would be open every night late, and you just step in and have great food for very cheap. Like, the dollar is worth a lot there.
I know, right now it is. You traveled at a good time. I want to go back really bad. I love Japan so much.
And we go to the malls and stuff, like the malls that are 3 blocks long, and it's so big. There's no way you can even walk through all these malls, and just like every little alleyway has a door that leads to something else. It's just really, really cool. And the people were very welcoming to us. We went over really, really well there.
Yeah, I saw pictures and stuff. It looked like the crowd really liked you guys. We went to a bar when I was in American Heartbreak, a bar like on the 5th floor, and the bar was about the size of a living room.
Yeah.
And they played nothing but Judas Priest.
Cool. Oh, cool.
There's places like that all over there. It's really great country.
One of the shows we did was in the middle of the subway platform. So you'd walk up the stairs, and there's just a door, and you open up the door in the subway platform, and boom, there's the venue. And you go in, and it's just this tiny room with the PA system from the Grateful Dead put into this tiny room. It's the loudest show I've ever been to.
Great.
People smoking cigarettes, they're cooking food. We're just this is unbelievable.
Yeah, it's great. Did you guys have to learn? Did you guys try to learn any Japanese?
Yeah, so that was kind of the kicker is I couldn't figure out the first couple shows. I couldn't figure out how to get the audience involved. And the Midnight Devils are an audience-oriented band.
Right,
so
yeah.
if the audience can't understand me, I'm in trouble. So our tour manager told us the first 3 numbers, each Nissan, which is 1, 2, 3. So if I said each Nissan and raised my hands up, the crowd would make noise. So I kind of figured out as the tour went how to interact and with my facial expressions and then my tone of voice, how to get over what I was trying to say.
And you paint your face, so they like that too, because
Loved it.
Yeah, they love that. You're like you're interesting because you paint your face and stuff. So
and a lot of this, Michael, you probably know this better than anybody, but for some reason, American rock and roll hits much harder.
Oh yeah.
Than anything else. So it's almost like a steamroller when we come to a town or we're out of the country and we play these shows, and it blows people away because they don't have American rock and roll there.
Yeah, and when you're throwing balloons out and putting colorful outfits on and painting your face, it's fun for them.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to say them, those people. It sounds kind of racist, but whatever.
You people.
Yeah. You people. So then you did some shows, a bunch of shows in Europe too. Did you go right from Japan to Europe?
No, we had 2 or 3 weeks off. When we came home, and I worked at the strip club every single day. And you kind of like pay your debt, your rent, and pay all the bills that you have to pay in those 2 or 3 weeks, and pack it all back up. And then we flew to England.
And you got to buy plane tickets to England too. Those aren't covered, are they?
No, we're buying everything.
So you got enough money saved, huh?
Money saved, credit cards, that's what we do. And a lot of what I've been really bad at is the business aspect. And that's a skill that I'm trying to be better at, the business aspect of being in a rock band and managing that rock band. So Cheri's really helping me a lot with the finances and kind of getting all of it in order so that we can be profitable and continue to do this. Yeah.
So you probably end up at best breaking even. Usually you take a loss, but you're having a great time, right?
Absolutely. Yep. And we know going in that our whole goal is, okay, even if we take a loss, our goal is to be invited back for next year. So we want to be invited back every single time we go out, and then just put that on the calendar. Like, okay, we're going to go back to England again next year. Book that show. We'll be back.
I got to piss, so I'm going to pause this and give me 2 seconds to go piss.
Yeah,
I'm up in the mountains. I just got to hang it outside the balcony and just piss outside. So hold
me.
All right, just hold on just a second. All right, I'm back, Sam. Normally I would have pissed in a cup.
He's a fast pisser, folks.
Yeah, I was speed pissing. I just had to relieve some of the pressure. I would piss in a cup, and we call that an Easter egg on the show. You can hear when Butler peed in the cup, but I couldn't find a cup. I'm drinking a beer here, and the beer's only half empty, and I had nothing else to piss in, so I usually don't take a break.
I'm gonna learn how to do that so I can do it in the strip club too while I'm DJing.
You piss in a cup? Yeah.
Yeah, piss in a cup. I got no time to get to the restroom. Sorry.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, when you go to the restroom at the strip club, do you have an employee bathroom, or you got to go to the regular bathroom?
I go to the regular one. It's terrible.
Is it they got an attendant? Because some of the nicer strip clubs have an attendant. You got to tip the guy.
Oh, usually it's a guy that's trying to sell you cocaine. That's the.
Oh, really? Okay.
No, I'm just joking. There's a guy. Hey, man, you need something? I work here.
Okay, so So when you went back when you did Europe, how did you go get these shows in Europe?
Those were through. We were supporting a band called Kicking Valentino, which they're an Atlanta-based band, and they'd been there probably 6 times before. So when, like I said, the whole goal was to be invited back. So the year prior, we played at a big festival, and they go, "Hey, we're going to book Kicking Valentina. Do you guys want to open for them?" And we took it immediately, not knowing that they'd been there 6 times. So when we landed, the shows that we were doing with them were absolutely packed. So we did.
They booked you for the entire tour.
Yeah. Yep. There was awesome. A booking. There was a booker for the tour, and she just added us onto the bill. But a lot of places we had already played before, so it was kind of a win-win for everybody involved because it got us back in front of these people that were already fans.
And they're all packed shows. Did you guys get paid for those shows?
Yes, we did. Yes.
Oh, that's good. So you didn't lose money doing that.
No, I mean, we'll lose money like crazy, but we bridged the gap a little bit better. And that's always what it is, paying your dues and making your situation more profitable.
Yeah, you guys seem to do okay in merch when you played with Manitoba.
Yeah. And that's the other thing is like all we need is the show, and we can kind of do everything else as long as you get us on the tour, get us on the show. I can sell $300-$400 in merch every single night.
Huh? That's good. That's great. So then, go ahead.
The album was out. That was really an easy sell because the new album had dropped.
Yeah. All right. Speaking of the new album, which is called
So Hard It Hurts.
So Hard It Hurts. You just sent it to me. I was listening to it today. I like it. It's good.
Produced by your friends. Yeah.
Rick Browdy, Cher Ross, and Bam Ross. How did you? You already had the songs written, or tell me about that.
Okay, so we were on tour in Italy, and I don't know if have you done Italy before?
Yeah. When I was in American Heartbreak, we did like 5 or 6 European tours.
So do you know Fabio, the promoter in Italy?
Well, we went with this this booking company called Teenage Head booked us. So I didn't really know any of the promoters. We just knew Manny from Teenage Head. Yeah,
Fabio's a huge fan of Rick's, so that was kind of our introduction. Fabio was our manager in Italy, and he goes, "I love the Midnight Devils. You need to, but the thing is, you guys don't have the songs, so you need to talk to my buddy Rick." I was like, and we talked to him. I was in Torino. I completely remember talking to him on the phone, Rick, and I'm like, "There's no way that the guy that produced Ted Nugent and Poison is going to be interested in the Midnight Devils." And we struck up a conversation, and it worked. And they go, all right, when you guys get back to the States, I want you to record all the songs that you have, but as acoustic songs. This is Rick talking, right? And I'm like, this is such a waste of time, but we did it, and it turned out really cool. And we sent Bam and Rick and Cher all the songs, and they don't sound anything like the album does, So Rick going in had no idea. He'd never met us. He kind of went on blind faith through Fabio that this was going to work. And the songs, we wrote all the songs kind of in the break between tours and did it in Omaha in Sniper's house, just demoed all the songs out, and we had them ready to go by January.
So you demoed the songs acoustically?
We demoed the songs like on our iPhones.
Oh, okay. All right. So
and then we went into the studio here in Lincoln and did all the songs acoustic. So I'm thinking there's acoustic versions of all these songs we might release as a kind of bonus album, but that's the way it started. Rick wanted to hear all the songs on acoustic.
Right, I can understand that because he wanted to hear if it's a decent song or not. Right,
correct.
So and what did he say when he heard all the songs acoustic? He's
like, we got work to do.
Oh yeah, okay.
And so I was just completely like mortified, and we finally loaded up, and the time came. And we rented a van and drove from Nebraska all the way down to Florida. And he actually, it was really cool when we got there and started playing the songs with the full band together. It kind of changed. He goes, okay, I understand what you guys are doing. Now let's just sit down, you and me, and work on the lyrics. And that was like my master class in how to be a songwriter. What to be a songwriter was Rick and me sitting in his office, just kind of going over lyrics.
What did he change on the songs?
A lot of the...
He said he completely wrote Get Laid. He said he had that song laying around.
Yeah, and so we were going to do... For that song, we were going to do a cover. We were going to be like, okay, every album we're going to put a cover out. We didn't have a cover ready. Rick's like, I don't hear a single. Would you guys be interested in doing Get Laid?
Okay.
And I don't know, man. It's kind of not the way I would write a song, So as a songwriter, I had to take the back seat and let Rick do the leading, and we played the song, and I was like, this is going to be perfect. I think it's right up our alley. And once we heard the final version, I was like, this is great. But what Rick really did was he showed me that a song is kind of a story, and you have to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and there's almost like a resolution. Uh-huh. So when you go writing a song, you got to have this idea, and then you start somewhere, goes somewhere, and then it all wraps up at the end in 3 minutes.
Did he change any melodies?
No melodies, but mostly just lyrics. Mostly him and I just worked on lyrics. Okay.
And where did Cher and Bam come? Cher Ross, if people don't know, Cher's a good friend of mine. So is Bam. Bam is from the Dogs d'Amour, and he played with Ginger for a little while. And Cher is from Vixen, and then they had a band together called Bubble. And both of them also worked on that Jesse Camp record. which I really like a lot. I think that record is way underrated. They helped write songs for that record with Alex Kane too. Speaking of that, but that's how I know Cher. So where'd Cher and Bam come in? I know they're neighbors with Rick, right? And they're really good friends.
Like 3 houses down, they got the studio. So they set
also
up.
They have a studio.
Yeah, in their house, they built their own home studio.
Okay, so Rick doesn't have a studio. Rick's kind of retired from producing. He doesn't really do that that much.
This was his first record out of retirement.
Yeah, that's what he said. I had him on the show. He said that was his first. So he knows Cher and Bam. So he used Cher and Bam studio, and Cher did they help out with the record?
Yeah, a ton. And Cher was the one that was directly responsible for changing and making the melodies and the harmonies really, really tight and good. And that was her. Like she engineered a lot of it. She was the one behind the control console. And then Bam would kind of come in and he would mix and do everything after Cher and Rick kind of worked the song over.
Because I noticed on the first song, To the Hard Way, there's like a left turn and it turns into a completely melodic part. I kind of thought maybe that Cher and Bam, or Cher probably maybe had something to do with that.
No, he actually had that part in the song already.
Oh, he did? Okay.
Yeah, and so they're like, because even Rick hearing it goes, oh, this kind of sounds like 2 different songs.
Yeah.
And then we played it and he goes, okay, I understand what you guys are doing. Let's tighten this up and make this into one single solitary idea.
Did you have to pay? What was the cost for Rick, or did you have to pay them?
Yeah, I just ended up paying, and that's like a testament to Cheri, my soon-to-be wife. Like, we had this idea. We didn't know if we could accomplish it. Rick hit us with a number, and it was below what we anticipated, and it was like within our doable range. Like, okay, we need a record. We can't continue the Midnight Devils without a record. Like, that we have to 2 more years of touring. We have to have a record. So we just kind of put our credit cards on the line and put our money where our mouth is and made it happen.
So your wife, Chris, who did you say? Your wife or
my wife, Cheri? Yeah, Cheri and I kind of financed the whole album.
So you got a cool wife. My wife wouldn't do that. My wife would be telling me if I put a penny out of my pocket, she'd fucking divorce me.
It might be years, but I promise I'll pay you back. I'm keeping a running total.
Is she young?
What's that?
How old's your wife?
She just turned 37.
Oh, okay. She's young. You're young too, right? What are you, about 35?
39.
Yeah. You guys are still young, so that's why. You wait till she turns my age. She ain't going to be putting up with that shit. I don't dare tell my wife I got to pay for something out of my own pocket. I'll be dead.
Right. You're like, hot tub in the backyard. No, we got to finance the new Midnight Devils record. Sorry, honey.
Right. No, hot tub, yeah. But, well, good. That's nice. You got a good wife. You better marry her quick.
I couldn't ask for more. Like, for somebody to do that, to take a chance like that, and that's kind of like what you need is somebody that's in your corner that's saying, no matter what happens, we got this. Don't worry.
And she's an ex-stripper. That means she's hot.
Yeah, absolutely.
Exactly.
Better.
And you're a good-looking dude too, so she's got to be hot. So how long did it take to record the album?
We did a week down in. So all 3 of us were down in Florida for a week for all the basic tracks. We did a week straight through at Cher's house. My brother lives down there, so we kind of slept on my brother's floor.
Okay, I was gonna ask if Rick or Cher put you up at their house. I guess no.
And we came back a week later to finish all the guitar solos and stuff, and then Rick let us stay in his house. We was sleeping right next to the pinball machines.
Oh, that's nice. He's got a nice house.
Super cool house with the pool right in the middle, like a heated saltwater pool. And so weird as it is, got to go swim in his pool, and they made us protein shakes every morning. It's not the most rock and roll thing ever, but when you got that work to do, man, they knew how to start our day out right. They're
all vegans, right?
Yeah.
Are you not? You guys aren't vegans, are you?
We're not, but I think that was kind of part of the thing, is that we'd sit there and eat. And Bam's such a great cook, so Bam would cook for us every night and cook these great meals of stuff that I'd never even heard of before.
I thought they were raw vegans.
Yeah, but they accommodated us. They're like, here, we got some chicken nuggets for you guys, the guys that eat meat. Here.
Oh, they did. They gave you meat, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, that's nice of them. I thought they were militant vegans, like Alex. Alex is a militant vegan.
Tell you why eating meat is wrong while you're eating.
Right? Did they do that?
Yeah. But I know I like Bam. Bam and I get along so well. He was in the Choir Boys on the very first Midnight Devils tour, like our first big national tour. We met the Choir Boys and we got this call that we were like, hey, you're going to support them for a month. And we're like, shit, no, okay, the Choir Boys, like Spike, everybody. And Bam shows up and we're like, Bam from Dogs and More. This is incredible. And we got to know him really, really well throughout that tour. But
was Nigel in the Choir Boys then too?
Oh, he wasn't.
Okay.
And who was the bass player then? I can't even remember. Well, anyways, we did 2 weeks of that tour, and we were in heaven. And that's when COVID hit and canceled the whole rest of the tour.
Right. Yeah. So the album cycle or the album recording, everything was fun. It went okay, and now you're good friends with Rick and Sharon Bam.
Yep, just went down there and saw them about a week ago.
What were you doing down there?
We were just on vacation. Cheri wanted to do like a family, the Griswold family vacation. And I was like, you know what? All I want to do is just kind of sit on the beach, smoke weed, and not look at my phone for a while.
So you went to they live in Miami or Fort Lauderdale?
West Palm Beach.
West Palm Beach. Okay, close enough. Well, that's great. And the album is called So Hard It Hurts.
Correct.
And I listened to it for the first time in full because I didn't have the record. I thought I had it. I didn't have it. I listened to the first time. I'm liking it. I've only made it through once completely. And I'll tell you my favorite songs. I like the one. I didn't think you were going to send it to me, so I just looked on Apple Music and it only had 12 songs. But you sent me when you sent me 13 songs. I like the last song, Holding On to Fire.
The Japanese bonus track. Rick hated that.
So you got a Japanese label?
No, we got a Australian label, but when we decided to go to Japan, they're like, let's release a bonus track for the Japanese audience. And we had that song sitting around, and Rick's like, I don't really like this song. I'm like, cool, we'll just put it on as the Japanese bonus track.
I like adjusting the tracking. That's a standout. That's a little about like American Heartbreak, a little bit. There's a lot of Van Halen influence, clearly, because that Chris, your guitar player he's an Eddie worshiper. Right?
Yes, huge. A tone chaser, one of those guys that's never satisfied with his tone.
Yeah. Seems like kind of a shy dude. I remember first thing he said to us when we were in Texas, he went up to Craig and he goes, man, I might put you off a little bit because I don't really talk that much, but I don't mean to. I remember Craig saying, I reached out to this guy, to the guitar player, and all he responded was a one word. I'm like, man, I was trying to be nice to the guy. He just gave me a one word response.
And that's how Rick felt too. I thought going into the recording of this that Rick and Sniper were going to butt heads because Rick's not like a guitar guy, right? He's like a song-oriented rock and roll dude. Sniper's this guitar hero style player. And I was like, these guys are going to hate each other. And they got in the studio and magic. They love each other. They text each other every day.
Well, Rick did all those bands that had guitar heroes in them. They were songs.
I know.
So I'm sure he's used to that.
He's the first one to tell you. He's like, I'm not the guitar hero guy. Ted Nugent, yeah. But I'm not the guitar hero guy. And it was just cool what him and Rick, what Rick and Sniper pulled out together just by themselves. I thought was really, really cool. And there's no hard feelings. It was very, very awesome environment.
Yeah, and he's a shredding guitar player too.
Yeah, absolutely.
I also like Hell to Pay. They're all decent songs. They're all fun songs. But these are the standout tracks. I like Hell to Pay. I like the lyrics.
Rick completely rewrote.
Okay. That's why I like the lyrics. I guess.
So it was called Against the Grain, and Rick's like, I don't understand. Like a lot of songs have kind of tongue-in-cheek jokes in them. He's like, I don't understand the joke. Let's try something different. And I had to sit there with him and with the notebook and rewrite the whole song. Yeah.
Shock the World, was that originally called Fuck the World?
No, it was called Shock the World, and that was like a 5-minute song that wrote it in 5 minutes, and I was under the deadline I was one song short, and that was the last one that I wrote.
It sounds like you're saying "fuck the world" in a couple of the lines.
I do say it. I say
you
"Shock
do? Okay.
World," yeah.
Okay, well, that's why I guess. All right, well. I'm going to play a couple songs after. I'm going to cut those in. The only time I edit the show is I'll put, I'll say a few opening words if I interview somebody, and then I'll play a song, and then I'll close out the song. I'll close out the show with a song as well. And so I'll let you pick the two songs that I'm going to play.
I absolutely love Get Laid. I love that as a single. It's one of the funnest songs to play live, and Rick really did a great job on turning this into a Midnight Devil song where now the crowd sing it and people look forward to it. People just go ballistic when that song gets played. And I think it's so cool. Hey, we even played at the strip club every single night, and the girls who are not into rock and roll at all will sing the song every single night.
Who's the fat dude that's in the video?
Oh, very good question. He is my cousin, but he's kind of like our mascot. He's our Eddie. We call him the Pink Bastard. And so we've created these characters almost very similar to Kiss, where we have a girl devil and then this pink bastard. So the girl devil is kind of like the hero, and then the pink bastard is the anti-hero. It gives them an opportunity to do superhuman things. Anything that we can think of, we can have these characters do. And it's not necessarily us doing stupid things. It's these characters kind of telling the story. And I thought it can make the story, whatever the story is, last as long as we wanted to. It gives us this other dimension.
What do you say? He's your cousin?
He's my cousin, yeah.
I bet he's not a vegetarian, is he?
No, definitely not at all. He was a misunderstood kid, that never really, people made fun of him. That was plain and simple. People were on him because of the way he looked and how he weighed. And we gave him this role, and he's taken it on full blast. And he's kind of turned it into his own little thing where he's kind of a celebrity now. He walks around and people can recognize him and they see him, and it's turned around. People take pictures with him. It's a really, really cool thing that he's taken on himself.
You said you're in Lincoln, Nebraska?
Yeah.
And where's Chris?
He's in Oklahoma City. He just moved.
How far away is that?
7 hours.
7 hours. So you guys don't rehearse?
We never rehearse.
You get together and rehearse right before you go out on the road?
Not even. And Chris is a sniper. He does make sure he rules with the iron fist. He's like the guy that has have your shit together or else there's going to be a boot up your ass. So
that's good.
You have to practice on your own because you don't want to bring anything less than your best.
Right.
We do a lot of rehearsal in sound checks when we have time. So that's kind of when we bring in new songs. We'll do them at sound check every night on the tour and then put them into the live show.
When you're playing, sometimes you stop playing and it's just the drums and the guitar.
Yeah.
And if you do play, it's just like one note.
Yeah.
So is it hard for you to keep the bottom end?
It's a really difficult thing, and it's something. So as like a bass player, if you're just a bass player without singing, I can do a lot more, right?
Yeah,
I can play. I mean, I was in a cover band. I know the songs and everything like that. Then you turn it around and being the front man, okay, things are a little bit different. Now I got to lead the band and kind of be this spectacle and be this over the top front man.
And you can forget what you're playing.
Not necessarily forget what I'm playing, but I'll simplify it almost to nothing, Yeah,
if you're if you're concentrating on what you're singing and concentrating on trying to get the crowd riled up,
right.
It's easy to hit some wrong notes.
Absolutely. So it's like wrong notes are inevitable, and that I think kind of shows that we're human and that we're lost in this live experience. But a lot of it is Sniper is such a great guitar player that I can kind of take a step back as a bass player and just play the very, very simple root notes and stuff like that while he's doing all the fancy, intricate stuff.
Yeah. Do you try? Go ahead.
Oh no, there's a way I kind of look at it.
Yeah. Do you? Who's your favorite frontman?
Favorite frontman of all time? It's the no-brainer is Paul Stanley.
Right. Okay.
But
That's what I figured.
I think that the frontman is a very underrated and a hard thing to come by, is to have somebody that can kind of lead the crowd and lead the party. Not a lot of bands have that guy, and really somebody that can step above and beyond to wow an audience.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to close out the show with "Get Laid," I think, because I played that. I played that when I had Rick on. So what would you like me to open the show with?
Let's do "Shock the World." That's going to be our second single coming out, and I think really. It's the epitome. It's like we were really simple, fast song, and that's what we got.
Sounds good, Sam. Well, thanks for doing this. What's your Your stage name is Sam Spade. I don't know why I can't get that out of my mouth.
You got to drop another egg real fast.
Sam Spade. What is your real last name?
Morris, Morris.
Sam Morris. Okay. Yep. And your real name, Sam?
Yep, Samuel.
Samuel. Where were you born?
In Fremont, Nebraska. So a little tiny town in Nebraska.
Midwest guys. Okay.
Yep. Right. Born and raised, and I've been here ever since.
Midwest is not a bad place.
No, I love Nebraska. It's so easy. It's so simple. And everything's just, we've had the idea of like, man, if we're a Nebraska band or we're a Midwest band, we can drive or fly.
I was going to say it. You're centrally located.
Yep.
You're the center of the hub. As Steven Tyler said, the spokes, you're in the center of the spokes. You're in the sprocket.
Nebraska's not known for great rock and roll. It's kind of we're definitely commodity out here.
Yeah, I would imagine that the Midwest has some pretty good music scenes.
It does, and it does, and there's stuff sprouting up all over the place. What we're best known for is that bands that come through, say Denver and Chicago, will always stop in Nebraska. Yeah. It's right on the way. So you always kind of get good bands on nights.
We're trying to book we're looking at booking a Midwest tour. So
let's do it together, because we're kind of planning something too for 2025, and really to kick off this. We haven't played in the States this year, so we're going to really hit it hard next year and hit all those places that we haven't been. And we've toured the States a bunch, but not last year.
You know the judge, right?
The judge?
The guy who was the Manitoba's manager, John.
Oh yeah.
Contact him. You got his number?
Yeah, I actually do.
Yeah, contact him. We'll try to do something together next year in the Midwest.
I'll hit him up, because that'd be cool. And we can hit a lot of the places that we've played already. So we have like these built-in audiences all throughout the Midwest.
We might have to open for you guys.
No, never.
All right, Sam Spade, also known as Sam Morris. Thanks for coming on. And how can we give all the links and the social media and all that shit?
It's super easy, and we're very active on all of our social media pages. TheMidnightDevils.com, Facebook.com/The Midnight Devils. We're on Instagram. We're on Twitter, on X. On all of our music is streaming on Amazon, Spotify, everywhere. We're very active, so drop a comment, and we'll try and get back to you for sure.
Let him know, as I always say, let him know you heard him on the Rock and Roll Geek Show. Send Sam a message and tell him that he did, so he knows you didn't waste an hour and 2 minutes and 20 seconds of his day on this crappy podcast. What's that?
When we were in Australia, we had a bunch of fans of the show, of the Rock and Roll Geek Show, that came to our show and knew you.
Huh? Where is this?
In Australia.
Oh, how about that? Huh?
Yeah. So big shout out to all the Australian wild animals out there that love the show and love the Midnight Devils.
I got a feeling those wild animals who are friends of the Rock and Roll Geek Show were probably middle-aged dudes, right?
They were, yes.
Yeah, they're the best. I stand by. I am the what do you call it? What am I trying to say? I am the hero, not the hero. I'm not the hero. Oh. I am the advocate of the middle-aged rock dudes. All right. Middle-aged rock dudes stand together. All right, Sam, thanks for doing this. I really appreciate it, friend. Do me a favor. Send me the links and stuff, because I'm going to be posting this probably like within the next couple of hours. I'm going to walk the dogs and come back and post this.
Absolutely. Thank you. It's really cool talking to you.
All right. Talk to you later. Have a good one, Sam.
Thanks, Michael.
All right, bye.
Bye.
There you go, Sam. Good dude. Great band, too. Those guys work their fucking asses off, man. If there's nobody in the crowd, that guy will get, if there's 10 people in the crowd, he'll get 10 people from the back of the room into the front of the room. That guy works his fucking ass off on stage. They deserve to have all the success that they're going to have coming. I guarantee you they're going to find success. These guys are the blueprint for do-it-yourself. And I say that I mean that when I say that. All right, friends, rockandrollgeek.com is where you can find the show. Send me an email, rockandrollgeek@gmail.com. Find me on the Facebook, R&R Geek. Find me on the Twitter, R&R Geek. Find me on the Instagram, Rock and Roll Geek. Don't ask. Don't forget we need help with this Manitoba tour, the Indiegogo, there's a link at rockandrollgeek.com. We're in the 200s now. We've got a little bit of ways to go still, so I still need your help. And if you get any value out of this show, you can either contribute it, which I appreciate, or you can contribute it to the Manitoba tour as well. Either way, friends, I love you for it, and you know that. All right, here's Get Laid from the Midnight Devils. I'll talk to you probably in a few days. Have a good one, friends.
I'm gonna get laid tonight. I'm gonna get laid tonight. I'm gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Naked out of list. I'm an optimist. Nothing goes. Finally get kissed. Putting on my best clothes. Getting her a red rose. Watch out so I don't get ripped. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Sniffing my armpits, making sure I don't sweat. Cover up the zip on my face. Don't wanna break up, touch on my makeup. Don't forget my way, cool shade. Begging my dad, please, won't you give me the car keys? Go back upstairs, you ain't going nowhere. Looking like a disgrace, wash the stuff off your face. I can't wait to blow this place. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. There ain't no way passing up a hot day. Crawl out the window and make a break. Hope I'm not found. Jump into the ground. Hop by the car and head across town. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Gonna get laid tonight. Rub the plastic Jesus, hoping that'll please us. Sometimes, preferably before hell freezes down your knocker. Your dad unlocks her, screaming, "Stay away from my daughter!" I ask him why, and he pulls out a Bible. Yells, "Get out before I'm liable to do unto you what you wanna do." Look to my sweet little Susie Q. Gonna get laid tonight. 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 Sling back to the curtain, pressed and rejected. Susie's virtue remains protected, but much of my surprise, somehow Susie, just managed to sneak inside. Gonna get laid tonight. 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 Gonna get laid tonight.
It's a rock and roll geek train wreck.